We have another guest today. We have our speaker, we're gonna hear from soon, Carter Smith. We have Katie Paquette, a guest of John. We have Michelle McGee, who's joining us for the second time, a guest of Elizabeth. We have Elena. And we have, you can't see her, but she's here, Elise Brunel from the South Burlington Rotary Club, who's gonna share something with us in a few moments. I'd like to start with Rafa, if you're ready, your inspiration.
Good morning. So my inspiration this week came after talking to a friend about success, and we were talking about successful people in our lives, and after I went home, I realized that we were defining success as what people do for work or how accomplished they are in their academics and professionally. So I wasn't happy with that. So I found this definition by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Success: to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded.
We're gonna do a few announcements before we have Elise be our Rotary Minute with what she's gonna share with us. So Barb, can you tell us about the event that you're seeking volunteers for?
Excuse me. So Green Mountain Chamber Concert Festival is going to be doing something called Music for Food at Isham Farm on May 18th. And people will be allowed to come into the concert by making a donation of non-perishable foods or making a financial donation. The concert is going to consist of these 4 incredible young musicians who actually have trained at Juilliard. And they're all in high school, excuse me, and they've won some international awards. They're really phenomenal. So what we would like is some signups, and I have them set here. This is one that I'm passing around, which are donation for snacks for intermission. The second one is a sign up for setup and takedown, which we could use 6 to 8 volunteers. And the last one is to help out with parking. And we like people who are ready to run with the cars. So I will pass this around. I appreciate it. The concert will be at 7 o'clock. And are there any other questions?
What day?
Which date?
May 18th, which is a Saturday, and proceeds go
And what's the timing?
from 7 to 9 p.m.
So
Yeah,
I will say that after talking to Helen with regards to anyone that helps with parking, if you sign up for parking, please try to stay focused on helping with parking, and that includes the leaving, when people are leaving. They really need someone showing, like, just kind of making sure people go out the right way. So if you're going to sign up for it, just please plan to actually be there to do it. That's fine.
thank you for that.
The whole time. Well, no, just during, when people are coming in and then when the.
And we will have posters that we can distribute ahead of time and notifications. You're gonna be putting it in Front Porch Forum, I believe, hopefully the newspapers, et cetera, et cetera. So we hope for a nice turnout. We can have probably up to 200 guests. So let me pass this around. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barbara, for getting this started.
Another volunteer sign up opportunity, you may recall that Bill Skiff's memorial service will be April 27th. There's a sign up sheet now posted on the bulletin board out in the foyer there. It's the second one in from the right. And you can sign up to help us set up, or clean up, or to bring, food items that are specified on the sheet. So that, the church has offered us that opportunity if we'd like to participate in that. And then John, wanted to talk to us briefly about Green Up Day.
Great, thank you. Good morning, all. Well, green today, I'm wearing green, of course, just to hit the point there. It's May 4th, so it's coming around, just a few more, less than a month away now. We've done this many times, of course, I appreciate, Sherry, your help, and Leslie, your help with this. I haven't done this one before myself, to participate in cleaning a part of the street, but. So I've got a sign-up sheet here. Part of it is manning the booth on the town green, from 9 to 1, it's 9 to 1. And then cleaning up, we've decided on Marshall Avenue, we've done that. Nice exposure, we'll put the sign up, and maybe Harvest, depending on the loop where Walmart and Home Depot are. So, there's a sign up sheet here. We're looking probably 2 people man the booth or 3 man the booth each hour.
That would be, who's done that? Elizabeth
Have you done
and
that?
Sally, like, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I was gonna make an announcement about that, 'cause that's kind of separate from Green Up Day.
Okay. And then so I can put it on here, so if you wanna
Oh,
use that.
okay.
I wasn't sure whether that was part of the
Great,
damn thing
I
or.
need people to sign up, I'll tell you about it in a minute.
That's right. And then the cleanup crew, as many we can use, as many as we can, and it's all bags provided, gloves provided, and we've got, shirt, the yellow shirts that says Rotary at work, and so you're all safe, and we pick the side, when there's sidewalks, so you don't have to worry about traffic and blind corners and, that's.
And just a reminder to everyone that we also have yard signs, that say Rotarians at work. I think is what they say. And those are in the storage unit, so I can either, we're unfortunately not gonna be here. But we can either just let you all know this, or I can get them to someone for the day, so.
Yeah, to get them to, I'm going to pick them up there, so.
You wanna pick them up there?
No, I'll pick them up whenever you have a time,
Okay.
chance to pick them up.
Leslie, are the vests there as well?
Yes,
Okay, so there's the high vis safety vests. I don't know about t-shirts,
Yeah, I saw the vest, yeah.
yeah, okay,
Big
so
high
there's.
visibility,
and
yellow.
I
and
was
green.
trying to actually maybe reach out, I'll find out from Sally, getting some smaller ones, because the ones that we have are pretty large. So we'll see if we can get those before, May 4th.
Yeah, and the last week of April, the town gives us the supplies to pick up all the bags,
So-
so I'll pick that up.
would it be easier if I brought the vests and the yard signs beforehand, the Rotary meeting beforehand?
Yeah, that would be great, yeah. I'm not gonna be here 2 weeks, when I'm gonna be in Florida, but next week I'm here and then we.
You say where and when we were meeting?
It'll be, I guess we'll start 9:30 well, I thought it was part of the booth too, but not, then we can start either 9 o'clock or 9:30 at Hannaford.
Hannaford.
Yeah, in Hannaford parking.
Yeah, maybe we
Go down there.
can send out those details in an email.
Yeah,
perhaps,
but sign up sheet will be here, going around whichever, and so one side is for Elizabeth with the booth and then.
The information.
Okay,
Thank you.
so a couple things. Barb's event that she was talking about on May 18th. May 18th is also the Rotary Day of Service, which is, I believe, an international event. Is that, or was it national? I'm not sure, I don't remember, but Rotary Day of Service, so all the Rotary people are encouraged to do some service that day, and it just happens to coincide that we have an event that day.
Which is
So thank you, Barb. But I'm really here to talk about town fair. So that is also May 4th. And it's during the Green Up Day time, so I do need help. We can't all go to Green Up. A couple things. So last year we did a theme called Growing Community, where we gave away seedlings that we all started. They can be vegetable seedlings, herb seedlings, or just cuttings from your plants. But I would love to have a bunch of people donate those again. You don't need to go buy them, but you could start them yourself. We still have time. Has anyone started any plants for that yet? Leslie, Sally, thank you. Anyone else planning to start some plants for that?
Andrew did.
Papa? Andrew started plants?
Papa, can
Awesome.
you start them for me?
We gave away, I don't know, hundreds last year, and it was a really fun way to interact with the community. So, so please do that. And the other thing I need,
Dixie cups or something like that, is that?
I mean, whatever, I had a bunch of old, like, plant pots that I had bought stuff in that I save and started in there. Some people did the little, like compostable cardboard cups, whatever you have to start plants in. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, we're just giving them away.
There was no uniformity to it at all.
No, not at all.
It's whatever you can bring a plant.
Which made it really fun, because there was a huge variety of plants, house plants, vegetables, herbs, and something for everyone, because, you know, some people don't have a place where they can start, where they can grow vegetables, but they do have a windowsill, so. And the other thing I need is help at the booth. We were really busy last year, so I would love to have at least 4 people at all times, because the idea is that we're talking to people and telling them about Rotary. I also want to get people giving us their email addresses in exchange for a plant this year, so we can grow our contact list. And it's 9 to 1. That's- Okay,
Where is it?
Age 12 last year. It's on the town green. So I will be there by 8:30 to set up. I can only stay till noon, so I need people to stay till 1 and take the stuff down and put it away, which I'm guessing is going back in the storage unit. Yes, so I guess John has sign up space on it, on there, on his sheet, if you can sign up, or I would love to just get a show of hands on who is planning to be there. If anyone can be there from 9 to 1.
I signed up for 8:30.
Awesome, thank you, great, so I have a couple of people,
Overachiever.
do I have people that can return the stuff to storage at the end? Anyone? Okay, great. Just need to know I have people. So, all right, I'll see you May 4th at 8:30 then. Thank you.
So a lot going on, a lot of fun things to participate in. And now, without further ado, gonna introduce Elise, who's gonna tell us about a really great fundraiser the South Burlington Club is doing.
Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Elise Burnell. I have been here when you had the Afghan speaker. We had that combined meeting. And I'm here with my Rotary hat on from South Burlington. And I'm also thinking, Chris, I'm coming back soon
Yes.
to talk about the VSO, the Vermont Symphony, which I'm fortunate to get to run. So, but what we've got here today, yeah, go ahead. Chris has options. There's 2 options of a food fundraiser we're doing. If something looks like chicken, that's chicken. It's slightly spicier. And if it looks like it doesn't have chicken, that's lentils. So what this is a food fundraiser this coming Saturday for our foundation committee. And it's food that's cooked by one of our members, Alganash Michael, who you may know. She runs Taste of Abyssinia, and she is from Ethiopia originally. And she's a recent James Beard Award finalist, I think. So her food is amazing. What's happening on Saturday is it's a pickup thing. So you order what you want online. There's beef and chicken and vegetarian, which is actually vegan. And then we're gonna have a Saturday evening from 4:30 to 6:30 pickup site down at the Mill Market on South Dorset Street. So it's $25 a head. I'm gonna just hand this out. And what it's benefiting is, let me keep it on your table. It's benefiting the international support that we do for primarily trying to get our support over to Gaza and over to Ukraine, but working with, what are we working with? Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, Cure.org, organizations like that. So it's gonna benefit that. And we're hoping to sell $3,000 worth of food. We're just over halfway there. And if you haven't had Eritrean or Ethiopian food, do yourself a favor, use this excuse to try it. It's absolutely amazing. When you go online, there's a QR code in the website. You can choose your food, but does anybody here know what injera is? Injera bread? Anyone ever heard of that? It's a very spongy kind of bread that you rip it off and you use it almost as your fork to cook up your food. So all of this food that we're handing out now also comes with vegetables. And it's absolutely lovely, a bit spicy, I know. But I do hope that we are your excuse on Saturday night for dinner. pretty much it. So thank you so much for your time and I hope you enjoy the food. Thanks. All right. What? Spicy is good. I'm from Minnesota, so I'm a little lame on that front. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for bringing us these samples.
No problem. A little different than your morning breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Contrast with my sweet rolls.
Okay, yes.
That's Barbara.
Okay, without further ado, Walter, you may enter.
Good morning.
We'll plug in on that.
This morning I'm pleased to present Carter Smith. Carter is owner and operator of the Williston Village Farms. He farms on an acre of land behind the 1838 farmhouse. The parcel includes a barn, a greenhouse, and 20 raised beds where he grows vegetables for pickling. He was a teacher and administrator at the Williston schools and for several generations. He retired from teaching 5 years ago. He lives with his wife, Joy Peterson, and their golden retriever, Archie. Carter Smith.
Getting the PowerPoint up so it can be seen on Zoom. Gotta run the slideshow with my notes so I can see what I want to say. Here we go. Okay, how we doing? Great. I have dilly beans that I brought with me, so I'll leave the jar. Maybe you can do that as a raffle. Help yourself, and they're a little bit on the spicy side, but not too much. They were spicier, and my wife talked me into calming them down a little bit, make them more accessible. Okay, so here we are. As Walter said, we live in an 1838 farmhouse, which is a money pit. Our daughter calls the decoration that we do shabby chic. She bought us a book on shabby chic, so we didn't have to make it shabby chic, pay more because it was shabby. But that's the decoration we use inside the farmhouse. This is the back of the farmhouse from the gardens. And as Walter said, we've got 20 or 30 beds in the backyard, about an acre of land. These are the co-owners. This is me, and Joy and Archie, our golden retriever. We bought the house in the village from Warren Lyons. Warren's mother, Virginia Lyons, was the town clerk at one time, a couple of generations ago. I don't think Warren really wanted to sell the house because he was born there, and anybody would come and look at the house and peel the wallpaper back to see that, that didn't make him very happy. And I think Warren reminded Joy of her father, so she schmoozed him a little bit, and he sold the house to us, which is great. I retired 5 years ago. Joy retired as a middle school teacher. She was in the Sterling house, and she knows kids still stop by and see her. I retired 5 years ago. When I worked as a school administrator, I garden as therapy. I go out in the backyard and weed a row of beans, and it's done, at least for a couple weeks. But in human services, you're never really done. You can always do more, stay later, go earlier. That was my therapy then. The farm was perfect for my retirement. When people say, "What are you doing in your retirement?" I usually tell them I'm doing a lot of therapy. Spending the day weeding and growing. This was maybe 3 weeks ago. This is the farm, it looks different now, but. And, poor man's fertilizer, it's actually not a net, not a Vermont legend, but, there's nitrogen in the rain, in the air, and so the nitrogen. In the snow, it's better because it's, kind of time release, you know, the rain just runs off. But, snow stays in the garden and gives you a little fertilizer. But just so you know, I do use more than rain or snow. I use compost. There's some compost I make myself and some I buy from Pockets down the road or Gardener Supply. And I use some other organic fertilizer. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. The barn was originally a carriage barn for horses and wagons. And some hay, straw hay on the top. Contractor said he wouldn't park his truck in there. So before it fell down, we had it dismantled. Had to get permission from the town to do that. It has to be at least 50%. It was more like 75%. So we dismantled it and built a new barn on the same spot. I do the vegetables and Joy does the window boxes. She used to spend a lot of money on bedding plants. Wasn't really a bone of contention, but that was the fact. Now we buy the seeds and I grow the plants. One seed, like a geranium seed, costs 50 cents. I thought that was outrageous. Then when you spend $10 on a geranium plant, seems reasonable. Okay, this is our front yard. This is Route 2 going by. That is Archie. His name is actually Archibald, or we call him Archie. That's our mailbox. And we have those of you that drive by, you know, people say, where do you live? And I said, we live in the big yellow house. And they say, is that the one with the mailbox with the vine on? So I guess it's getting to be popular. So I have a vine. It looks like a volleyball net that goes up so that the plants can grow up. That there's scarlet runner beans that we use to grow up there, and then there's zinnias and I'm worried that I'm going to hear from the postmaster that they're having trouble getting at my mailbox. So far, no. Okay, we sell dilly beans, salsa verde, sweet pickles, dill pickles, corn relish, and pickled beets in pint jars. And that's the jar. Pass me that jar there, Walter, just so I have that. And we sell on Tuesdays. That's the dilly beans. It's like a work of art. I do all this myself. Yeah, we think that Isham Farm is the only farmer's market on an actual farm in Vermont. So that's the stand. You guys can interrupt with questions, and you don't have to wait to the end. So if anybody has questions on the slide, feel free. Isham's does business in the barn, that's what on the right, on rainy days. And next to the blueberry bushes across the road several Sundays in the fall. The truck is an integral part of the farm. We haul compost and fill up the truck with the product with the jars and our tent and tables for the market. And Archie doesn't always come along, but he likes to ride in the truck. We couldn't survive without our local students, mostly high school students, middle school and high school students. Because Joy was a middle school teacher. She picked the best students to work on the farm. So one of there on the left, she's shoveling two different kids. She's shoveling compost out of the truck. On the right, she's planting a row of beans, green beans. We pickle about 750 jars a year. So it's not big, and we sell out. Joy keeps saying, well, you gotta do, she has these marketing suggestions. And I said, Joy, you don't have to market if you don't have inventory. Beets are popular. We sell out of most products. I mean, some people say, ooh, beets taste like dirt. And then other people like really like them. And then they're really healthy. That's like the latest elite athlete food. We sell out of most products, always beets. The beet recipe is from my grandmother Stewart's recipe from her farm my grandparents' farm in Western Pennsylvania. I just made that up. But I think it sells some beets. My brother was helping me and, at the Ishams, and he said, well, let's get a picture of grandma, I'll put it right here. And I said, no, Jack, it's a lie. A visual, but I know she pickled beets, but I don't really know her recipe. Okay, with Joy and my connection to the local schools, we have had a lot of classroom visits. Many children had no idea potatoes grew underground. It's like, what did you think, they grow on a tree? But, so we have them come and dig the potatoes, and it's pretty exciting. That's an ESL class, English second language preschool class. Chili peppers go into the juicer. So that's a bottle of sriracha, which we make. And so out of one end of the juicer comes the juice, and the other end pushes out the pulp. So the juice gets fermented, added vinegar at the end, and bottled. The pulp goes into the dehydrator to make pepper flakes for a shaker that we sell. Onions are stored in burlap bags in our basement. That's onions in the greenhouse. We use some yellow and some sweet. Like a Vidalia, it would be a sweet onion. Some recipes call for sweet onions, but yellow onions tend to store better in the basement of our farmhouse. Okay, this is harvesting horseradish in October. Anybody ever wants to have some fun, let me know in October. You'll cry. Your nasal hairs will get burned out. So, but we have neighbors that are still friends of ours that we wear masks, goggles when grinding the horseradish root in the food process. You have to be careful when you open it up to get it out, and it's pretty intense. The product goes into half-pint jars for freezing. When a customer purchases a jar, at the farmer's market, they need to sign a waiver. It's really hot.
My question,
Yes,
do you have any for sale right now?
I do. I don't have it with me, but just email me. My email will be there in the end, and you can pick it up or I can drop it off. Yeah, it's pretty intense, so you have to sign a waiver.
Passover is coming.
Oh, perfect, perfect, yeah. Yeah, and you can always calm it down with sour cream or something that you can't make it hotter. Okay, this is garlic drying out, and then one of the artistic workers did that braiding, which is pretty cool. So hard neck garlic, there's two types, hard neck and soft neck. I lately grow hard neck because you get these scapes that grow up the middle.
Yeah.
And you have to take them off to help the garlic grow better. And then they're good in soups and stews, stir fries, and for making scape pesto. Okay, those are, that's drying outside before storage, out of the direct sun, but in the breeze. You can also see, that's the greenhouse, heirloom tomatoes on the left, and just to the left of the heirloom tomatoes are onions. I grow those from seed, and I cut off the top of the onions as they're growing, maybe 3 or 4 times, And that makes the bulb grow, so when it gets to a certain point, I can plant the bulb. And I use the cuttings in salads, or Joy does. You can see the window, there's windows in the roof that open up when it gets 80, so into the 80s. Okay, so onions and jalapenos are ingredients for many canning recipes, including salsa verde. So anyway, that's green salsa. And those of you that don't speak Spanish. Yeah. That's self-explanatory, I guess. The tomatillos get started in the greenhouse because Vermont does not really have the same growing season as Mexico. Or Central America. That gives the plants a head start. And as a plant native to Mexico and Central America, growing season is a little short in Vermont. So this is the cucumbers. It goes from plants to cukes to pickles. That would be a dill pickle. I'll put some dill in there and that's a chili pepper. So I train the cukes up the trellis when they grow fruit. Here. When they grow fruit, they drop through the squares, so I can pick them off. It's pretty cool. They're easy to find and they're easy to pick. Sometimes I have the high school girls who work for me now. It's like a Where's Waldo? Because it's green and there's cukes in there. It takes some time to find them. Most plants get started as seeds, grown on top of a heated mat in a seed tray. And in starting mix, when they germinate, they're placed under the lights, and then they're repotted after they grow secondarily. So, I don't call it a garage, I call it a barn, because my accountant wants me to get a tax write-off. So it's okay. I don't use the H word, hobby. It's business. So you know. Okay, these are the $10 plants that the seed costs 50 cents. This is the geraniums, getting comfortable in the greenhouse.
Carter,
Yes.
you probably know you can propagate geraniums from the plants, right?
I do. Yeah, anytime you want to come over and grab some of my,
Oh,
yeah, because I mean, we have, yeah. So you just could do a cutting and,
yeah.
yeah,
Rude.
thank you. You're gonna save me 50 cents. Okay, these are, grandkids are a big help, and that's a question mark, because they're not really. But I love having them there. We have a raspberry bush that's, if anybody wants cuttings from that, you can have them. It's thornless. So grandkids can go in and pick this to their heart's content. Anyway, these girls live in Florida. And they come up for, it gets hot, so they're up in July. And, yeah, it's fun to have them take their shoes off and walk around in the grass. And that's like a pleasure for them. And we take it for granted, right? Okay, we leave the beans on the plants, or I leave the beans on long enough for them to be crunchy, like you wouldn't steam them because they would be stringy. So I picked the string beans, very stringy and big enough. You can see this jar there. You wouldn't really eat most of those, but they give them a crunch. We had dill, garlic, mustard seed, and a chili pepper or a jalapeno for heat.
Carter?
Yeah.
What variety of beans do you sell?
Boy,
Are they bush beans or?
they're bush beans. I think they're early provider. I get them from Johnny's.
I hadn't really thought about the fact that I often don't get out to pick them soon enough. And then it's like, oh, they're big and
Right. Pickle them,
But now it's like I hadn't, yeah. it's like,
right, pickle them or
okay.
bring them over and I'll pickle them. Okay, jalapenos is relatively mild pepper, but still too hot for some gringos. I still speak some Spanish. I was an exchange student in high school to Spain. That was quite a long time ago. I like to jalapeno. I try to get Joy to say jalapeno. It's not jalapeno or jalapeno. So the corn relish sells out like right away. I have people that, so like my dentist says, when next time you're here, I want you to bring like 5 jars. I do, but, that's Conant Farm is on the bottom of the hill, going into Richmond on the left. And that's the best sweet corn around. In case you haven't been there, you should do that. Yeah, and I think it's only about, they only have corn for about 6 weeks. So you gotta get in. I get as much as I can. And I try to use that as much as possible for the corn relish. Okay, this is, we grow Yukon Gold potatoes. That's the potato on the left. And you can buy potatoes. My father-in-law, when he's dead now, but when he visited the farm, he said he laughed so hard when he saw we were growing potatoes. Like, why would you grow potatoes? But we do it for fun, and I like to have the kids pick them and see that that's where potatoes are from. And then that's a yellow hybrid tomato. Could be, for me, it could just be a meal.
Carter, do you have trouble with Japanese beetles in your potatoes?
No, no, I don't have Colorado potato beetles either.
Huh.
For some reason. Maybe I've grown up that I don't really care, but I don't have they devour your potatoes, huh?
Well, I don't grow them anymore, but they used to be, Japanese beetles were a problem with potatoes.
No, they can be a problem with my raspberries,
Huh.
but I just go out in the morning and knock it into a jar of gasoline.
Right, right.
Okay, so these are heirlooms. They're getting ready to party. And thanks for listening. You guys have been a great audience. And I'm here for questions for a few minutes.
Sharing.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, if you turn to stop sharing.
Stop sharing, yeah. Thanks for your help, Vince.
Yes.
Couldn't have done it without you. Seriously.
So I have a question. During the year, do you give any tours or have an open house, open farm so that people can come and just see
Yeah,
what you're doing?
Now you're getting into the marketing
I am.
aspect,
I am.
and I don't have an inventory,
I don't know.
so I really don't need to.
But for us,
I mean,
I think for
but-
some of us, I think
people
it's
that-
just interested in,
yes, I have a lot of people come and visit. Yeah, it's not, yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm being a little facetious here, but come anytime, people come and visit, it's, with the flowers and the vegetables, especially, in July and August. I don't really have enough beans until July. I get them in as early as I can. Right now I have beets growing in the greenhouse. I can't set them out even. But, in August is when, things get really cooking. So the worry that you might have if you visit is that I might put you at work. You could work for free. Sally,
How big is your greenhouse and do you have it shaded?
I do not have it shaded. No,
How big is it?
it's probably 5 by 10 feet.
Oh, so not very.
Not huge, no. No. So I have stuff in some things in the greenhouse now that will survive a little bit of cold. I have a heater in the greenhouse. You don't like to make it very hot in there, but, and so things are under the lights in the barn right now. I've got, let's see, I think I had them up the other day. I plant them in 6 packs. I've got 100 6-packs, so 600 plants going right now. So when they get big enough, I'll move them out to the greenhouse, but I have a lot of, really need the girls that work for me to be less busy. Like, what's wrong with them? They play sports, they have activities. So, but anyway, I need them more, but right now they're coming on Sunday for 6 hours, and so they'll do a lot of repotting.
So in general, do you, sell plants or do you make food? You primarily just
I'm a
make
pickle
food?
guy. I'm considered the pickle guy.
Okay, so you make food with everything you grow, you don't sell plants.
I do both. I sell some plants, mostly to local people that get them there every year, but if you want to get on the list, email me. So I sell mostly tomatoes, plants, pepper plants, and now I've been selling petunias and geraniums.
Can you give us your email?
Yeah, yeah,
Carter Smith, Vermont.
yeah.
I'll send it out.
Thank you.
I'll send it out on Club Runner. Do
It's Carter Smith VT.
you have a website?
I do, but I don't brag about it. I do have a website. It's Williston Village Farm VT. And one of my workers works on it, but it's not anything. Yeah, you can go there and you can get my email from my website. It used to be, Williston Village Farm. And I moved from one server to another, and after 2 weeks of moving from one server to another, in the middle of that, my website got taken.
Yeah.
Williston Village Farm in North Dakota.
Yeah.
Williston, North Dakota. So, anyway, now I'm Williston Village Farm BT, which is fine. And I get all these announcements saying, would you like to buy your website back? Good, thanks, everybody.
So, Carter, thanks for coming to speak today, and both the Rotary will donate $50 to the WCS mentoring program in your name.
Oh, very nice.
Sorry, we have one more task for you.
Okay. I'll leave the jar with you.
Thank you very much.
They're really good in Bloody Marys, in case anybody does that.
I need you to pick 3
Okay.
raffle tickets. Today, we have special raffle day, and read the last 3 digits on each one.
Okay, should I do one of these?
So the first one is for cash, the usual raffle. So go ahead.
Drum roll. Okay, last 3 digits. 8, 2, 4.
Yay.
All right, second one, this is for the Dilly Beans. Oh, they go.
They're worth $10. Okay, drum roll. Number 832.
832.
I think whoever has it doesn't want it.
I don't think that's.
Okay, this is for the Dilly Beans.
Dilly Beans.
809.
All right.
Great, no, got it, 809, great.
Okay, all right, now the
Okay,
last
last one.
one, and Sherry, show the prize for the last row.
Oh, no.
Homemade artistry by Sherry.
Very nice. Okay, drum roll. 811 for the bowl.
Oh, that's me.
You can do that. Yeah, I know, all right, great. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Charlie. And now I will turn it over to. Is Marty? Oh, there you are. I thought I saw you.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I gotta get right and push it down. That hurt. Right. Let's see. Thanks. We just start down here. I'm gonna start with Phil. I never start with Phil. Right. Do you have any? Oh. No, you're fine.
Really enjoyed sitting out on my front yard, watching the eclipse happen. And the most impressive thing to me was that it was sunset the entire 360 degrees around my house. It was sunset everywhere, north, south, east, west, and sunset. It was beautiful. I couldn't believe it.
Actually, might be fun. People told us what they found, the coolest thing, the temperature was. Jerry?
I think the nice thing was that it was something everybody actually had in common all at the same time, which seems like something you just can't seem to do these days. So I think that everybody that, you know, no matter who you are, if you were in the area, some area where you could enjoy the eclipse, everybody just was, I have to assume, in amazement and in awe. And we all had that in common, you know, where nowadays it just seems like there's not a lot of that. So there's that. Thank you to the speaker as well. You made me think about maybe going and getting some geranium seeds and getting them potted. Maybe geranium in the, so, and I am having fun with my woodworking. But in general, I don't have anything specific. This life is good.
Hey, Chris, just because. Sally.
So $1 for the speaker. Thanks, Carter.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Carter.
$1 because my husband, his last day at Mad River, his last 3-day week is this Saturday at Mad River, and then he will work there 1 day a week, and then he's gonna start driving again for SSTA. So he'll be around, but not quite, not too much. The next $1 is for a good friend of mine whose birthday was yesterday. I'm very serious about my friends' birthdays, so 6 months ago, I asked her when her birthday was. She told me it was May 5th. So I dutifully wrote it down in my birthday book. And then her daughter said to me yesterday, can you call Janie? Her sister's in the hospital. And I'm like, wait, what? So I went over to her house and gave her a hard time before I gave her her gift. And then my last $1, of course, is for baseball. It's a sad $1 because the Red Sox have fallen flat on their faces for the last 2 days. But it's also a happy find for Howard Novak's favorite team, the Baltimore Orioles, look really good.
I'm not saying.
No, don't say. Although your opening day wasn't so great either, by the way.
No. Overall, we're pleased.
You're all right.
First, of course, and continuing with Sally and Val for baseball. Walk-off grand slams, there any no hitters, Yankees had their best start ever, or tied for the best start ever. Tim Wakefield's tribute there, that's incredible. UConn men and women, UConn men won the championship, of course, and the women's phenomenal season.
Phenomenal.
5 people injured on the bench and 3 reserves, and they still went to the quarterfinals and semifinals, just incredible run there. And the last one, I MC the fashion show at UVM at the Heritage on the higher ground for cancer, and we raised over $5,000 for cancer.
I don't have any, we don't have any money.
You don't have any money in
I
there?
have zero money.
You can give it, you can give it later.
All right.
Two things.
So we owe you. Next week.
You owe me, yes. We had a wonderful time with the eclipse. 2 of our grandkids came and they, you know, even though it took them 7 hours to get home, they felt it was well worth it. And it was just wonderful to see the expressions on their faces. We also had a household of various friends came from all over. And I wanted to mention your picture that you took last summer with Dawn, talking about the women's basketball game.
Oh, yeah. That was
You may
great,
say
yeah.
that.
Yeah, we met Don Staley last summer. I have a nice picture. Nicely. But you can see how intense she was. Right.
Lovely lady, though.
My job for the eclipse was to bring out Alexa and select correct tunes. My favorite was, That's Amore, you know how that starts?
Yeah.
Vince?
Yes, $1 for Carter. I thought it was a great presentation. Hopefully get a tour of his farm at some point. $1 for the eclipse, but also spring, hopefully no more snow. I know some of you skiers still want some snow. And the third is for, as I've done before, the Rangers. They're still the best team. in all of hockey. Nobody can catch how many wins they have, and they're in first place with 3 games left before playoffs.
Jude?
I share your feeling about realizing that everybody stopped on Monday and paid attention to something that was really amazing, phenomenal. One of my neighbors is an expert in astronomy, and he actually built his own observatory in his backyard with a roof that slides off so that he had cameras and telescopes that I can't even imagine knowing how to do it. But he takes pictures, at other times, and they're so incredible. They're so beautiful, the colors and everything. So one of his brothers figured he'd like to learn some of that, so he went and bought all this high-tech equipment. And he drove 13 hours straight to get here so that he could take those pictures. So anyway, I too bad that we don't have more eclipses then, and maybe more peace. And the other one is for the fact that Bill Skiff's memorial is coming up. I can't imagine a more wonderful person. I really can't. He was one of the first people I met here in Williston, so I hope we all sign up for that.
So one is for Carter and speaking today, and one is for the eclipse because I think it made everybody feel closer together, really, for a time, and we haven't felt that way in a long time. And one for the twins are coming this weekend.
The baseball team?
No,
Eventually.
they do as much damage, but no.
I'm funny, I'd be glad to donate $1 to you. My wife has a theory that there are 2 types of people. It doesn't hold true in all cases, but